Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to give you some suggestions. I was thinking to do a video where I can recommend you some fragrances that first of all are very affordable. All of these fragrances are extremely affordable, and second of all they are very easy to wear fragrances. They are your typical day-to-day dress it up, dress it down kind of fragrances, but all these fragrances are very feminine, and let's just say all embody different flavors when it comes to feminine. Let's just say some are a bit more sweet, some are a bit more elegant, some feel like a bit more sophisticated and classy in a sense. But let's just not make the intro extremely long and let's just begin, you guys. Now, like I've mentioned, these fragrances are recommendations, suggestions. Please, as always, if any of these fragrances catches your interest, let's just say ideally try to get a sample, try to get a decant. I know it seems like a waste of money because these fragrances are all very affordable, but try to be mindful with the way you spend your money, in what kind of fragrances you invest your money, because at the end of the day, if the fragrance is not one that you enjoy, it's not one that you wear, then it kind of is like a waste of money in a sense, you know. So let's just begin, and let's begin with the more dainty, feminine and classic ones. I have here two floral recommendations for you. Let's just start with one that if you have a taste for Idole from Lancôme, you will definitely enjoy this fragrance. Even though Idole from Lancôme is not the kind of fragrance that I would reach for on a day-to-day basis, but I cannot get past how elegant, like effortlessly elegant and feminine and chic this fragrance smells like. So the first recommendation that I have for you is a fragrance called Instance from Ahmed and Maghribi, and like I have mentioned, this is an inspiration to Idole from Lancôme. Now I have a decant of this fragrance that I have tried it here and there. I mean, I have done a review for the fragrance and I have sprayed it here and there. I can't say that I wear it because it's not really my style of fragrances, but if you enjoy fragrances that feel very feminine, that kind of feminine energy that feels very elegant and sophisticated yet very easy to wear, is not the kind of fragrance that feels very rigid or too serious or too this or too that. This is the kind of fragrance that you could wear it to your office, you could wear it, let's just say maybe you have a date after work, you could wear it to the date, you know. If you have to run some quick errands, you could wear this fragrance. If you have a wedding or perhaps a special event and you would like something that feels very feminine and sophisticated yet very timeless in a sense, this is the fragrance that you could wear as well. This fragrance to me is extremely versatile. There's not really much to not enjoy about this fragrance. At most, some people might say they find the DNA a little bit too generic, a little bit too simplistic, but if you're looking for something that is simplistic, this is a beautiful fragrance to take into account. This opens up, you guys, with a burst of citruses. This fragrance opens up with a beautiful, sweet and slightly sour, lemony, bergamot accord in a sense, that add a lot of vibrancy in the opening, but it doesn't feel extremely refreshing to the point where it pulls masculine or unisex. It's not a citrus accord that's overly pronounced. I feel like the citrus here just add a beautiful lift, a beautiful vibrancy to the floral accord that you have right behind it. I wanted to say right in the background, right behind it. And behind this very feminine leaning citrus accord, you have a beautiful jasmine that feels quite airy, quite breezy, quite sunny in a sense. It adds a lot of airiness throughout the fragrance. You also have a beautiful pink rose. Think a very youthful, not very sweet, more of a garden-like, you know, type of rose. The kind that feels very airy, again, nothing overly rich, definitely not a Middle Eastern style of rose. It's the kind of rose that even women who don't have a taste for rose could enjoy this kind of fragrance, because the rose doesn't take the center stage, let's just say. To me, you have here a beautiful balance between the citrus accord with the floral part, with a beautiful pear vanillic combo that starts to shine as the fragrance gets a chance to develop, let's just say, from the heart till the dry down, so you lose a little bit of the airiness. The pear starts to shine a little bit more, so it adds a very beautiful and delicate fruity like sweetness to the fragrance, and of course the vanilla that rounds up the composition a little bit. Now, this fragrance, I cannot comment a lot about the projection, but I can tell you this fragrance is extremely oily, so it will linger on your clothes, on your skin, even though it's not the most projecting fragrance, even though it's not the next Bismol fragrance. But if you're looking for a very affordable day-to-day feminine fragrance, definitely take this one into account if you have a taste for Idole by Lancôme, or in general if you have a taste for very feminine florals with a little bit of something citrusy, with a little bit of something fruity from the designer section. Do not look past this fragrance, you guys, because it is truly a beautiful fragrance. Of course, for women who have a taste for these fragrances, but even objectively, I'm not one who wears fragrances like this, but I still go to my fragrance collection just to smell it every now and then, because it does smell extremely beautiful. And and just timeless, you guys. Timeless, classic, feminine beauty. Yeah, so let's continue with the next floral recommendation. This is a fragrance, I don't think I have mentioned it in any videos yet. This is a fragrance I received, oh, hold on, because I have a hair here and it really tickles me. I have received, like I've mentioned in some previous videos, I've received a lot of fragrances from Dubai collection to review them, and this is one of them. This fragrance is from a brand called Arabiyat. Does it ring any bells when you hear Arabiyat, you guys? It's, do you remember that fragrance, Oud al-Lail, the fragrance that broke the internet? I feel like, was it maybe around 2 years ago? And everyone was saying how crazy beast mode that fragrance is and how that fragrance lingers and lingers and lingers and lingers. I have myself filmed a review for that fragrance. I feel like it's been like 2 years ago by now. It's the same brand. It's the same brand, but this fragrance in particular, this is called MALIKAT al HUB. And let me tell you how this fragrance smells like. This fragrance, again, this fragrance smells like a designer fragrance. This has nothing Middle Eastern about it, you guys. Absolutely nothing Middle Eastern. This is a very suave and delicate floral fragrance with, again, the most gentle citrusy kick. A touch of something fruity, slightly fresh in a sense, but I will describe you how this fragrance smells like in a second. So this opens up with a floral accord, the kind of floral accord that feels timeless in a sense that it doesn't feel like a dated floral accord. It doesn't feel, in a sense, you cannot put this fragrance into a time frame, you know, like you cannot say, oh, this is like that typical 80s style of tuberose or that 90s style of white florals with mandarin or the sweet, extremely sweet like bubblegum tuberoses that you have at the moment. To me, this feels timeless, and to me this opens up, first of all, it opens up very airy, fresh, but not in a blue style of fresh in a very breezy and bright and light manner, I would say. I detect here something that smells like green apple, you know, that style of freshness that feels slightly fruity in a sense, so it adds the most gentle fruity undertone to the floral bouquet, yet it doesn't feel overly fruity to the point where this fragrance is a fruity dominant fragrance, you know. You just have this beautiful green apple like freshness in the opening with perhaps a touch of something lemony or something bergamot like, but again very delicate and very gentle, that just adds a little bit of dimension to the opening, so it doesn't feel flat. And then you have right behind the very beautiful and breezy floral bouquet that feels very soft, very suave, very gentle, very muted in a sense, but not muted in a way that this fragrance feels like a skin scent, because it doesn't. Muted in a sense that it just feels very soft and dainty and feminine, yet elegant, you guys. But this is a very casual style of elegant to me. I also detect a little bit of sweetness in the background. Now let me tell you, from the fruity accord, what I smell, think a beautiful warm airy solar jasmine, perhaps with a touch of tuberose, but again the tuberose here, you guys, is not a tuberose with a very pronounced green undertone. Is not a tuberose that leans dusty, is not a tuberose that leans overly heady and heavy and opulent, perhaps a little bit indolic. To me it's a tuberose that's made to be liked by everyone, you know. So it's that kind of tuberose that you have in a lot of designer fragrances. Think L'Interdit by Givenchy, think My Way from Giorgio Armani. Yet I don't feel like this fragrance is a dupe to any of these fragrances. Look, to me, if I were to say, this fragrance is a fusion between something from Chanel Chanson Tendre. So you have that from Chanel Chanson Tendre with the jasmine that feels again very airy, very bright, very light, very solar in a sense, musky at the same time, and clean without smelling like your crisp clean sort of fragrance, or soapy clean, shower gel clean, powdery clean, musky clean, you know, clean in a floral manner, I feel like. And also you have a little bit of a tuberose that does feel a little bit sweet. Maybe it's sweetened up by something vanillic here as well. I haven't looked up the notes, so I'm telling you what I smell in this fragrance. I will do a dedicated review because I have received from them a lot of fragrances from Arabiyat, or my perfumes, and I want to do a dedicated video where I'm trying out all those fragrances and I'm telling you how they smell like to me and so on and so forth. But this fragrance, even though I don't have a taste for florals, but this one I could definitely see myself wearing it, you guys. Think something from Chanel Chanson Tendre with something from My Way / L'Interdit, with something from Sensuous Night from Khatlaj. It has the same energy about it, you know, that same, again, effortlessly feminine, very dainty, very pretty, yet sophisticated aura about it. Yeah, see, I feel like here on my skin, compared to the paper, the citruses have a little bit more of kick in a sense. They feel a little bit more effervescent, sparkling. And the fragrance feels definitely a tad more sweet than it feels here on paper. Here I feel like it's the florals, the breezy florals that shine more. Yeah, it's like a citrusy, fruity, floral fragrance, but like I've mentioned, if you have a taste for fragrances like Chanel Chanson Tendre, Sensuousness from Hadlage, Pleasures from Estée Lauder. Again, it has something from Pleasures. I don't know why I get the resemblance. Or if you have a taste for fragrances like My Way, like L'Interdit by Givenchy, but again, not the flankers to L'Interdit, just the OG simple L'Interdit. If you have a taste for this kind of fragrances, then this, let's just say this could be like a distant cousin to all these fragrances, you know, has a little bit of everything combined, with an emphasis on the fruity accord. See, here on my skin I also detect a beautiful peony touch. I don't know if it has listed, but I detect a beautiful, luscious and very feminine peony accord. Yeah. Now let's continue with fragrances that are, let's just say, a little bit more right up my alley, in a sense that they have a lot more sweetness added to them. Let me just emphasize the fragrance that, again, I have mentioned it in hundreds of videos. Okay, let me not just exaggerate, dozens of videos for sure. But if you have a taste for fragrances like Mula Mula, or if you are looking for an inspiration to Mula Mula, you cannot come closer to, you cannot find an inspiration that's closer than this one. And this fragrance is called MODJO from Tweens Paris. This, you guys, is the most beautiful and playful and naughty and feminine and delicious and flirty fake artificial strawberry with caramel, with a little bit of pink pepper, with a very delicate and dry woody accord in the background. This just smells like good times. This smells like fun times. This smells like you're in a very good mood, like you just want to have fun, you know, you want to enjoy life in a sense. I love this fragrance. Performance is decent. I wanted to say it's not the crazy beast mode. I feel like none of these fragrances are like crazy beast mode. Of course, some perform better than others. The performance is decent for this fragrance. As a reference, I always have carried it with I cannot speak today, oh my god. I have always carried it with me in my purse to just top on my fragrance throughout the day. But performance is decent, but the scent, I love it. Sorry, I'm laughing, but you guys, I had to cut so many parts from this video because I just cannot speak today. I don't know why, like, I stumble upon my words. I cannot pronounce words today. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit sleepy because it's relatively pretty early in the morning, but my words are not collaborating with me for today's video. So let's continue with another fragrance. Let's continue with a fragrance that I have done just recently, a review for this fragrance. And again, you guys, this fragrance, if you're looking for an affordable feminine fragrance, but this time that feels very radiating and happy and uplifting and bubbly and joyful and just radiating, this is the fragrance. If you have a taste for fragrances like Yara, if you have a taste for fragrances like MALIKAT Al Hub, if you have a taste for fragrances like Rave Now for Women from Lattafa, you will really enjoy this fragrance as well, because it's just, again, it's in that whole vibe, you know. This fragrance is called Bouquet of Euphoria. This is from Fragrance World. And this smells like very sweet orange blossom with something mandarin orange in the opening. The mandarin orange feels slightly cold and ripe in the opening, with a beautiful creamy white floral accord in the background, with a beautiful vanilla pudding-like accord that adds some creaminess. Again, this fragrance feels extremely creamy, and I feel like you have here different types of notes and accord that all together contribute to the creaminess of the fragrance. And also you have here a variety, or like a plethora of different notes and accords that contribute to the sweetness of this fragrance. So this fragrance is, first of all, sweet, second of all, very creamy. Keep in mind all these different nuances that contribute to the overall sweetness and creaminess of the fragrance. It's creamy from the florals, it's creamy from that vanilla pudding, even though, let me just say, to me, the vanilla accord that smells like vanilla pudding to me, like a homemade vanilla pudding, slightly burned a little bit here and there, but I feel like that this accord shines more on clothes or in your hair, whereas here on paper and on my skin, in a sense, it has lots of different other things on top of that accord that steal a little bit from the shine of that accord. Yet you still smell it. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's youthful in not a negative way. Youthful in a sense that it just exudes this radiating, happy, uplifting aura about it, and of course it feels very feminine. But again, you guys, the woman that would wear, let me just show you, the woman that would wear these two fragrances, maybe it is the same woman that will wear these fragrances as well, maybe it's not, I don't know, but I would say these are elegant, chic, feminine, and a little bit more sophisticated for sure. This is not really elegant and sophisticated and chic in a sense. This is just playful and happy. Yeah, playful and happy. This is, and very girly and giggly, you know, this is the vibe. Now let's continue with a fragrance that, even though I only have a sample of this fragrance in my collection, but I feel like I would like eventually to get the full bottle as well. This I decided to include it, not only because I like it, but because under the review, many women told me that this fragrance was an instant love for them. And this is one of those easy read, grab and go fragrances, and I couldn't agree more. This fragrance is from Paris Corner, and this is the KHAIR Fusion. And this is their take on the DNA of Aran Sparkling Lychee from Kayali. And this, you guys, let me just describe you how this fragrance smells like. Again, for this fragrance I have like first impressions mixed with a review as well. This smells so good, you guys. This smells like a summer mocktail. This smells like fun times. This smells like good times, like summer nights out. This smells, again, happy and uplifting and very feminine, but this time it's a fruity forward fragrance. This opens up with a beautiful lychee accord that feels crisp, feels slightly dewy, slightly aquatic, but not blue. Dewy and aquatic in a mocktail way. Very sweet. It's almost like you add a lot of sugar to that mocktail, like a lychee mocktail. Perhaps a few slices of bergamot, few slices of something citrusy there, because I get the vibrancy, that specific citrusy vibrancy, but I can't say that it feels overly refreshing or acidic by any means. Again, it just adds a little bit of lift to the DNA in the opening, and it makes the lychee feel much more, it gives the lychee accord much more dimension, and it makes it feel more multifaceted in the opening, so it doesn't feel like a flat fruity accord, you know. It has lots of vibrancy, lots of dimension to it. Yeah, this smells like a lychee mocktail for the summertime with lots of sugar because it's very sweet. So this smells like something that you would drink. So this is gourmand, not edible gourmand, drinkable gourmand, you know. This smells so beautiful. The sugariness here really starts to shine the more this fragrance develops, you guys. It never loses the lychee accord. To me, the lychee is here from the opening till the last bits of the dry down. The lychee is here to stay. It's not here to play. It's here to stay until the fragrance disappears from your skin. But let's just say throughout different stages, it is accompanied by different notes in a sense. Yeah, it feels a little bit more airy and breezy and bright in the opening. Then it gets a little bit more dense and compact, I would say. And the sugariness really starts to shine, you guys. If you have a taste for fragrances like Hadlage, Aura, Kiss of Rose, if you have a taste for fragrances like Aran Juicy Apple from Kayali, to me this could be like a chasm, but in all honesty, I actually prefer this fragrance to those fragrances. Those two fragrances actually feel a little bit more juvenile, even though I could have included both of those fragrances in today's video. They, again, are that effortlessly feminine, grab-and-go, fruity, sweet, floral, musky kind of fragrances. And between us, I actually feel like what Hadlage did with the DNA of Aran Juicy Apple, to me it's much better, because it feels like it has much more of an umph to it. It feels like it's much stronger overall, definitely less, much better, and that sugary accord, in a sense, it's much more pronounced to my nose. So between us, if you wanted something similar and even better, if you were to ask me, definitely get that one. And honestly, you guys, for me, I mean, look, of course you pay whatever you pay for the fragrances that you enjoy, but to me to pay that amount of money for Aran Juicy Apple, that's such a youthful, happy, again, very girly, nothing serious, some people complain that it smells like a body spray kind of fragrance, you know. Yeah, get the version from Hadlage, it's much better, honestly. Yeah, now back to KHAIR Fusion. This fragrance, if you love fruity fragrances and if you love lychee, to be more specific, try this fragrance. Try it, you guys. At most, people might complain that this is too simplistic, but I do not find it too simplistic. I think they wanted to create a take on that DNA, even though I haven't tried that fragrance, so I can only share my thoughts on this fragrance as a standalone fragrance. But what I get from smelling this fragrance, They wanted definitely something made around the lychee that doesn't feel overly complex, and they wanted something, let's just say a blend that leaves a lot of room for the lychee accord to shine, and the lychee accord shines here, you guys, and it shines very beautiful. Again, it's an extremely affordable fragrance. Yeah. If you have tried, by the way, any of these fragrances, I would love to hear your thoughts on the fragrances. Let me know if you enjoy them, if you wear them layered, if you wear them as standalone fragrances. Also, what are some of your favorite, extremely feminine, perhaps very affordable, day-to-day fragrances? I would love to hear that. Now, let me continue with a fragrance that I feel like it got very popular in the last few months because a lot of people watched the review I did for this fragrance. A lot of people commented and they told me that they have it. Some even have, I don't know how many backups of this fragrance. Others told me that they cannot find this fragrance anywhere. The next fragrance is called Red Velvet from Maison Asrar. I love this fragrance. This fragrance, you guys, look, I feel like even though it's an easy reach fragrance, but perhaps it's not as easy reach as, I wanted to say lavish blush, as Instance from Ahmed and Maghribi is, or as Malikat al Hub, but at the same time, to me, this is still something that I could grab and reach for this fragrance with my eyes closed. And this is an inspiration, or this is their take on the DNA of Burberry Her. Think Burberry Her with something from Baccarat Rouge, that ambery, oak mossy translucency from Baccarat Rouge, but with that strawberry from Burberry Her. This opens up with the most nutty artificial strawberry, you guys. It smells so, now in a sense it smells juicy. The strawberry here, I don't know if it's because I've had this fragrance for such a long time, but now the strawberry actually smells juicy, and it's paired with beautiful, sweet, ripe orange, mandarin orange, that kind of citrus accord, so it contributes to the overall sweetness of the fragrance. And the strawberry here is done so beautiful, you guys. And to think that this fragrance is like under 30 euros for 100 ml. The presentation is very beautiful. Oh, and something I also want to mention. I have mentioned in that review that I've said something among the lines that they should be a little bit more careful to the quality control, because my bottle had some impurities in it, but actually few women under that video commented and they told me that after they heard me mentioning that, they went and they checked their bottles and their bottles do not have any impurities in them. So maybe it's just a bad batch, maybe, I don't know, but I wanted to update you on this so you don't think that all these bottles come like this, you know. Back to this fragrance. This fragrance is one of the most versatile fragrances to have. You can wear it alone, you can wear it layered. I've done so many videos where I have mentioned layering suggestions for this fragrance. And to me, this could be a staple in your collection all year round. If you have a taste for Burberry Her, if you have a taste for Baccarat Rouge, think those two mixed together. This smells amazing, amazing. It smells, of course, feminine, because of the very pronounced strawberry accord, but it smells also very playful, very flirty a little bit, you know, and very overall, to me, it's a statement fruity forward fragrance. Yeah, I cannot recommend this fragrance enough. So if you have a taste for fragrances like Burberry Her, Baccarat Rouge, get this fragrance, try it. Let me know how you feel about this fragrance, but so far the feedback that I have received on this fragrance is amazing. What some women complained about is that the oak moss, that like translucent ambery oak mossy accord, so it's that slightly ambery, translucent, dry and green in a sense accord, feels a little bit more pronounced that they could tolerate. However, if you have this fragrance and you have this feeling, layer it with Yara, layer it with Rave Now for Women, and that accord, it will be toned down even more. This is a statement fragrance, but it's safe enough to wear it on a day-to-day basis, but it still has this beautiful statement quality about it. It's not the kind of fragrance that goes unnoticed in a crowd. When you smell something like this in a crowd, maybe I'm biased because I love this fragrance so much, so I would notice it, but you notice this kind of fragrance in a crowd, you know, especially if you layer it with Arabian Stonka. Yeah, that combo is a showstopper. Now let's move on to a fragrance that feels a little bit safer to wear on a day-to-day basis, and I feel like safe, not in a negative way. Again, when I mean safe, I just mean that it's that kind of fragrance that you can wear it, you could grab for it with your eyes closed, you could wear it in legit, I want to say legit all situations. I cannot think of a situation where this fragrance wouldn't work. Yeah, I guess it could even be like your wedding day fragrance if you wanted it to be, you know, like legit. I cannot imagine a situation where this fragrance wouldn't work. For a date, it would work. For work, works amazing. For a walk in a park, amazing. Groceries, amazing. Clubbing, amazing. Again, like a wedding, why not? If you have a taste, go for it. Gym, amazing. Like a vacation, like holiday, amazing. Yeah, this fragrance is 3 to 4 Devotion from Lorinna. This is a fragrance that I have fallen in love with it. Oh, and I still love it, you guys. To me, this smells like a homemade vanilla pudding. So it's sweet, it's creamy, it's dense, but the creaminess, it's a pudding-like creaminess with vanilla flavored in a sense. You know those that like legit smells like those that you can purchase, like those packets that you can purchase from the supermarket, and then you just add milk and you make your own vanilla pudding at home. This is how this fragrance smells like, and you just top up that vanilla pudding with some freshly cut lemon slices dipped in sugar. So you have the lemony accord that feels slightly acidic, slightly cold in the opening, a little bit zingy, a little bit sparkling and effervescent, yet with a sugary undertone, and you have that beautiful vanilla pudding accord in the background. And as the fragrance develops, let's just say the ratio between these two changes a little bit. And what I mean by this, the lemon accord loses a little bit of the vibrancy of that slight sparkling effervescent quality, and you're left with that sweet acidic facet. Sweet from the sugar, acidic from the freshly cut lemon, you know, and that beautiful vanilla pudding accord gets even more pronounced, and you have also the most gentle touch of a dry woody accord. To me, this follows the DNA of Devotion, and it manages to replicate this fragrance in such a beautiful way. Of course, if I smell them side by side, of course I notice differences, you guys. It's impossible to create a one-on-one, you know, sometimes not even between batches, like the scent stays the same, you know. If you wanted to try something that's very similar to Devotion, honestly, the closest dupe to Devotion that I have tried, and the most affordable one, this is only 15 euros, definitely try this fragrance. I cannot recommend it enough. And also, speaking of sweet lemony accord, this is another fragrance that I love, and I decided to include it in today's video. Again, hopefully you will be able to find it, if not a similar inspiration or the concept of something like this. This is their take on the DNA of LIRA from the Castamorate line from Serrov, and this, to me, this is such a beautiful day-to-day fragrance, you guys. It smells sweet, it smells gourmand without being like a sickly gourmand. This smells like a lemon sponge cake, like a lemon sponge cake. You take it out from the oven, you cut it in half, you syrup it up with lemon essence and sugar. You add some almond flakes, but in the opening, to me, the citrusy accord is much more pronounced. But again, it's a sweet citrus accord. It's not the kind of citrus accord that feels refreshing or bitter or anything like this. To me, this is a sweet citrus accord, and this fragrance feels, again, I love this DNA, you guys. I freaking adore this DNA, and on a day-to-day basis, let me just tell you how it makes me feel when I wear it. It makes me feel put together, but very like in my energy, you know what I mean? Like when I wear this fragrance, it just makes me feel very confident, but not the kind of confidence that's very like bossy and assertive. The kind of confidence, like a very feminine confidence in a sense, you know. I love this fragrance. I cannot recommend it enough. If you wanted to try something similar to Devotion, this one, if you wanted to try something similar to LIRA, this one, both of these fragrances are extremely affordable. Both of these are by Lorinna, and for both I have dedicated reviews. Yeah, so feel free to check out the reviews in case you're interested. Now let me close off the video with a fragrance that, again, lately I've mentioned it a lot because I genuinely love this fragrance. I purchased 2 more Becca bottles of this fragrance, and I'm not even like halfway gone with this fragrance. I mean, I guess close, like a third used up. This fragrance, you guys, is called TERIAQ by Lattafa. I would legit eat this fragrance. Like, it feels so gourmand now that legit, if someone would smell it on, let's just say, like if your partner would smell it on your skin, he would want to bite from it, in a sense. You know, this is how gourmand and syrupy and sweet it feels. Please have faith in this fragrance, guys. I'm telling you, please have faith in this fragrance, because this fragrance, the more it sits, the better it gets. The suede accord is not as pronounced as it was in the opening. The fragrance doesn't feel flat and slightly sharp like it was when I first tried it for the first few times. I have a dedicated review to this fragrance, by the way. Now, to me, it smells like baked apricots, baked pears, drizzled with a honeyed caramel concoction, sprinkled with almond flakes, the nutty almondy facet. It has developed in such a beautiful way since I have this fragrance. And this fragrance just smells sweet and syrupy and fruity, but a baked fruity style, not a very fresh fruity style. And it smells very round and smooth in a sense, with the suede accord in the background that just grounds a little bit the composition. Look, you need to have a taste for very sweet fragrances to fully appreciate this fragrance, but if you have a taste for fragrances like La Belle, if you love Scandal, if you love look, also if you love Lira in a sense, the inspiration of Lira, if you have a taste for this level of sweetness in your fragrances, try it, because I do not think you will be disappointed, you guys. I'm telling you, I have 2 more backup bottles of this fragrance because someone told me about a very amazing deal, so I just couldn't resist it, you know, because I love this DNA so much. Yeah. And I feel like these are all the recommendations I have for you for today's video. I wanted to include fragrances that I genuinely, either that I have like tried and tested, and a lot of these fragrances were my easy reach day-to-day fragrances, even though some of them I wore on a night out, to a restaurant, or more special occasion in a sense, but usually those times I wore them layered, some of them I wore them as a standalone fragrance. But in general, these fragrances are fragrances that are tried and tested, but by yours truly. So I know, at least for me, and if you have a similar taste to mine, this could be amazing day-to-day feminine fragrances. All of them are extremely affordable, and I have also decided to include KHAIR Fusion because it has really surprised me, you guys, and I really want to have that fragrance in my collection as well. And the first 2 floral ones, because I'm thinking that maybe women who follow me on a day-to-day basis, maybe not all of them want something that feels sweet. I know women who cannot tolerate sweet fragrances. I have women around me who get headaches from very sweet fragrances, who get like they genuinely do not feel well when a fragrance is extremely sweet. Clearly, I'm not one of those women because I love my sweet fragrances, but for those women, I wanted to include few alternatives, let's just say. So the 2 very beautiful floral ones from the beginning of the video, KHAIR Fusion as well, Devotion, which is not too sweet, you know, and it has that lemony acidic touch that lifts a little bit the sweetness, so it doesn't make it feel like a suffocating style of sweetness, you know. To me, that fragrance, like I've mentioned in so many other videos of mine, that is a perfect day-to-day. That fragrance is what I would call my perfect summer fragrance. That, and also this one and this one, but I feel like here it's debatable because, again, if you have a taste for typical summery fragrances, this might feel too warm, too sweet, too dense, too thick for the summertime. For me, they're amazing. But these were the fragrances for today's video. Like I've mentioned, these are all fragrances that I love. These are fragrances that I have used. They make me happy. They make me feel very feminine in a sense. They activate different flavors of femininity, but all these fragrances are extremely feminine and very affordable, you guys, because at the end of the day, you don't have to break the bank to smell good. You can find extremely well done, luxurious, smooth smelling fragrances for more than affordable prices. However, like I have mentioned, please test these fragrances prior. Just because I love them, just because they work for me, just because I have 3 bottles of this fragrance, doesn't mean that you will love this fragrance the same way I do. Yeah, please try to test them. If you have the chance, buy a sample, buy it, you can give them time. And also, if you have tried any of these fragrances, I would love to hear your feedback on them. Let me know how you feel about them. Let me know if they make you feel feminine. Let me know what are some of your favorite fragrances that just bring out the femininity that we all have inside of us. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. If you have any video ideas, fragrance requests, if you want to tell me anything, please put it in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you. I want to close off the video. Sorry guys, but like I've mentioned, the words are not here with me today. What I wanted to say is that I want to close off this video because I want to film a few other videos after. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, a lot of good energy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I will see you in my next video, but until then, I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.